In the absence of a miracle, this could very well be the end of civilization as we know it.
Xcom Enemy Unknown is touching down next month. To mark the occasion, 2K and Firaxis have sent us a preview build to help us prep for the invasion. And prepare we have. Our explorations come to a forcible halt before we get too far into the proceedings. The build we've been provided is programmed to stop working right after we make a particular harrowing discovery in the game. As a safeguard against spoilers, it's proven remarkably effective, but it hasn't stopped us from putting the early game through its paces. Tactical combat isn't what you'd call a walk in the park, but when you're talking about high-level strategy, XCOM is all about hard decisions. The very first one you make, which continent will house your base, requires that you choose from a number of very attractive benefits. It all compounds from there. Your research team, sorting through the detritus that your combat squad brings back from engagements, can only work on one project at a time. Your engineers, meanwhile, need cash and alien resources to build out your base and construct the gadgets that your researchers glean from the wreckage. When your soldiers come back from missions with a Sky Ranger packed to the gills with stuff like weapon fragments, flight computers, and alien carcasses, the decisions start to feel pretty desperate. Should you research armor to protect your all-too-fragile troops, or are the team's efforts better harnessed by interrogating an alien captive to better learn about the threat? Once the strategic game gets going, the decisions don't appear to relent. In XCOM, everything takes time, from the research projects to building a new facility into your base. Even your troops take time to heal. The lucky ones, anyway, who may manage to escape an engagement with only grave wounds, which is much better than the likelier alternative. In any case, in order to pass the time, you head to Mission Control and scan the globe for threats. Soon enough, you'll register hits of alien contact, which inevitably lead to what, in our experience, are some of the heaviest decisions the game asks you to make. All the more so because you're asked to make them so frequently.
Eat this!
At least as far as the early game goes, activity in Mission Control usually means abductions are afoot. When this happens, you normally have a choice of sites to respond to. Each has its own difficulty rating and potential rewards. Perhaps more important to note, though, is the current panic level of the country where the abduction took place. Any country whose abduction event you ignore will see its panic level increase, and if this rating stays critical for too long, they'll bow out of the XCOM project and take with them any potential benefits they would have conferred, had you been able to better protect them. There are ways to decrease panic, but once a country is at critical, it's been our experience that it's often too late to bring them back into the fold. The one foolproof way to calm a skittish ally is to provide them with satellite coverage so as to help intercept UFOs in their skies. Satellites take time to build, though, and cost money to maintain. An ally on the brink could easily withdraw in the interim. You could also grant them requests for assistance, which usually means donating technology when asked, but since these specific events are random, there's no telling who's going to ask for what and when. Again, if our experience is anything to go by, you're going to be saddled with the unsavory decision of who lives and dies, something you'll also be doing a lot of during the game's tactical portion.
This is Big Sky. Strike team has reached the AO, requesting authorization to deploy.
Solid copy, Big Sky. Strike 1 is cleared to engage.
Responding to abductions means putting boots on the ground and engaging the alien threat head-on. When you consider the grim logistics of battling extraterrestrials, however, this isn't as tidy as it sounds. Your soldiers will come into harm's way very frequently, and if you aren't careful, they will die. Even if you are, luck definitely plays a part on the battlefield. Shots go wide, people panic, and the best laid plans can go awry. Those that do survive will likely be bearing wounds, which take time to heal. If our experience is anything to go by, your best people will often be down for the count when the stuff is at its deepest. In cases like that, there's little choice but to send off squads of rookies, equip them as adequately as you can, and hope for the best. Any who survive will at least have some rank ups to show for it. That said, it seems like the further you are along in the game, the more of a fighting chance your newbies have at surviving an uneven fight. Once you have soldiers ascend to a certain rank, you can visit the officer training school and purchase additional slots in your squad, eventually allowing you to field up to 6 units. Other bonuses include a helpful upgrade that automatically promotes rookies to the squaddy rank, which essentially assigns them a class and corresponding ability as soon as you recruit them. There are also opportunities to pad your survival rate outside of the training school too. If you build a foundry, for instance, you can purchase mobile drones that pack enough of a wallet to bolster a squad of fresh recruits. They're going to need all the help they can get. When soldiers go down, it usually means death. On 1 or 2 occasions playing through this preview version, we've had squaddies go down and start to bleed out. When this happens, you have a few rounds to either wrap up the engagement or have a support trooper administer a med pack to stabilize them. But it's often curtains once your health total reaches 0. You can imagine how it feels when this happens to a buffed-up veteran.
No, damn it! No!
In any event, XCOM Enemy Unknown will be out next month, so look for a full review come then. In the meantime, we'll see just how much more intelligence we can extract from our preview build.